are live. What's up? What's up? Thursday night, you know what that means. It's the lit stream. I'm Crunk Chocolate. I'm here with my show, bro. Sharpie Charlie. How's it going, my guy?
Bro, happy to have a nice Thursday, like always with the game. Happy for our guests to come in. Got some first timers.
Let's go.
It's gonna be a fun night, man. It's been a good week for City. I
Mm,
feel like the vibes are positive again. Feels
I
good.
think so. I think so. We have a great show for you. Saul, he's back for his visit. We got Megan. We got Gabby. Saying it in the pre-chat that we try to vary club support, and this could be a real fun and informative, or it could be a very there could be some friction. I was trying to stick with
hmm
the I love my words. All right, let's get Saul on because we got plenty to talk about City and this Marmouche stuff, because I've gone on the opposite end. I haven't been listening to nothing. Give it up for Saul. How are you doing, brother?
Good, good, gentlemen. How are we doing? City's back. We're back on it. The road to 20 straight starts now. So
Let's go.
let's get it.
I love it. That's the energy.
And I've been seeing the names. All you keep saying is the same names just get closer and closer, and the words slightly change, but it's the same thing, same players. But I just popped back into the Marmouche debate, and Frankfurt want $80 million. What are we doing? What are we doing? Is this really what we're doing? Is City is there a middle ground? Homie, I shout out to 50 Plus Donor. They mentioned in this, they think he's worth it because he's been playing so well. They speak very highly of him. They also do mention that every Frankfurt striker that has left them for big money in recent years has done pretty terribly since they've left. That's the easiest way to say it.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, right? Marmouche, it talks about him going in the summer for like 50, and now we're talking 80, maybe more. So I don't think it'll come to that. I think we will sign him. I think it'll be less, but Marmouche is a great player. I haven't watched a ton of Bundesliga, but from the stuff, from the highlights, from some of the profiles that I've read, he's not a bad player. I think we can make him work, especially Pep. He's done a lot better in the recent years with the new guys coming in, right? Doku, it didn't take him as long as some of the previous players. Savinho this season's took him a little longer, but I think Marmouche would fit in pretty well with City.
I feel
Yeah.
like the number shouldn't be a distraction. We always get caught up in how much is it. No, we have the money. I don't want to hear anything about a number. We're not broke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you got money, you got to be broke no more. All right. Young club never broke again. So we are good. We got plenty of bags to spend. And if you think about it, it's a light for light. We lose Julian Alvarez. What we get for him, 80. If we got to put it back out to
Yeah,
get, Marmouche for the same
get
amount,
someone
okay,
else.
like it's
Yeah.
light for light. And you got 5-year contract. The personal terms are agreed with. See, I'm the opposite of Crump. This is the time I go to City Extra and on X because they have more info, and I'm just locked in. I check every couple of hours when I get a break at work. Okay, what's going on? Oh, we're getting closer. Bloody Gold says something. Okay, that's good. It's the German side. Like, I love it. It's fun.
Yeah,
I think he's a
yeah.
great
Especially
fit,
we
and
haven't
I'm
been
excited
active in
about it. But
January.
yeah, this is the first time in years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
how
it's
you
been a
feeling
minute.
about the rumors for the Brazilian defender? That one caught me off
Uh,
guard.
I love it. He's a great player. I watch a lot of Libertadores, so I'm a little more familiar with him.
Mm.
He's great. I like him. He's a versatile player. I think he can work with City. We definitely need a defender, someone that can actually defend. And that Brazilian team's been really good these last few seasons. So add him to the mix. The young guy that we're getting, I forget what nationality he is, but the young guy we're getting from League One, Kusanov, also bring him in. The more bodies we can get, the better. Especially the season's long. The Club World Cup's going to be right after the season. You gotta get these players going, especially if Pep's going to stay, another year or two.
It seems like a dope strategy to buy super young, right? Like if you can get an 18 and 20-year-old, two defenders in, you have your veterans around 30. Now they're just ready to replace because we know Stones is probably on the way out, Walker's on the way out.
Uh,
And that's just real life. It sucks, but all the good things come to an end. But you got to keep this thing going. And I love the fact that, like, in Cheeky's last, window, he's like, "Hey, we got to make these things happen." I'm sure that's in conjunction. Like, I saw a photo of him with, what's his name? The new director, uh, Vienna.
Vienna, yeah, Ruben Vienna.
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah.
they're clearly working in conjunction together. I saw one person that was like, that scout of the Brazilians seems like something that Vienna would do at Sporting, because you try to catch them younger before they get big, and before they hit 21, 22. So the vibes are right.
And I honestly don't have any strong thoughts on any of it. Let's get them to the club. Let's see what they can do. They look good on their teams, of course. That's why City have interest in them. But I do want to see players in the club with that photo with Shiki holding the City shirt, signing their name on the digital board. Like, I want all of those, like, traditional things. Put these conversations in the real chat, in the comments. Let everybody see it if that's possible. Sorry, I'm talking to the background chat. Y'all seeing some BTS stuff. Yeah.
I'd be interested to hear your guys' opinion. We're going after, like, lesser known players. Is that something that we want from City, or would you guys prefer, like, having City, go after Words, go after Musiala, because sometimes it does get a little, I wouldn't say frustrating, but a little, I guess, annoying that we don't always go for the big splash, right? Pep likes going for these, not projects, but lesser known players. So,
I think it is interesting. I'm here for it. Like, I feel like Ruben Diaz was like fourth defender on the list, and Laporte kind of came out of nowhere. And I'm not saying
it was relegation.
Are we considering Marmoush he hasn't signed yet, but that's the conversation. Are we considering him more of an unknown player, or are we considering him more of a big splash? Again, he's not Verts Musiala, but
facts though.
Yeah, I think he might be more like a De Bruyne type signing, right? Who shined in the Bundesliga, didn't really have success elsewhere. He's a little more pricey than De Bruyne was, right? But I think it's somewhere in that similar vein where they have success in a Big Five league, and then City want to bring him over.
I see it as, like, it's hard to get big names, super big names in the middle of the season, right? Those are summer transfers. So if we get a Verts or a Musiala, like, those things are going to happen in the summer when the season's over and nobody's trying to fight for trophies and all that. And this is why I feel like Frankfurt does have leverage, because they're actually, like, top 4 in Bundesliga right now, or top 5 at least. So like, they are fighting for something. So if you want our player, you have to pay for it, and that's the tax of the winner. We know normally City, they normally get charged a little bit more, but now you throw in a little bit extra, even more, because it is January. So I think you pay what you need to, right, in order to get the player. Because honestly, we are so lucky Haaland hasn't had an injury. He's played so many straight matches, and you need a true rotational player. Because clearly, if it was good with McAtee, Pep would have been playing him as false nine or whatever. It's not a thing. We got to give up that hope, let that dream go. And I think, like, you need a true professional striker to come in and relieve Haaland so he can stay fresh for the long haul.
I'm just shocked that Tarek isn't being like, this is why we're supposed to hold on to our young players.
I was just letting y'all talk. You know what was coming. I mean, at the end of the day, this is exactly. I mean, now, so to answer Saul's question directly, do I have an issue with them going young? No, I kind of have. If I were one of the guests, right, and I wasn't a fan of City, I would say that City, because this isn't our MO. We don't really buy super young 18-year-olds like that, right? Unless they're whatever. So I would say, well, maybe we're buying them because they know let's say there's going to be a transfer ban or something like that. So you bring in really young cats. Even if you have to send them on loan, it's okay, because you're not going to be able to buy them later. So you buy them now, stash them, and you have them available. I don't know that that's what I believe, but that's what I would say if I were a non-City fan. What I do have an not an issue, but I think we should be careful of is having a repeat of, say, a Cole Palmer or whoever else. I use that as an example because, you guys know I was a strong advocate for keeping and also playing Cole. We got rid of him, or we allowed him to leave, or however you want to phrase that. Brought in Doku. Doku's doing fine, but he's going to always be compared to Cole in the minds of, at least for me, but probably other City players, because it was almost felt like a 1-for-1. We're going to let Cole go, bring in Doku. I don't know that that's fair, but that's how it feels. So for me, I don't know that. I don't know, because these cats are young, right? These people we bringing in, they're really young. I don't know how they compare to, say, a Jermaine Simpson Puzzi, right? I don't know, because I haven't seen enough of him to know what he's about, right? But my concern is we're going to go pay 30, 40, 50 million for somebody else's 18-year-old when we have our own 18-year-old, 19-year-old in our academy right now who's been playing, quote unquote, the City way since they were kids, true kids. But we won't play them. We're going to go pay and then subsequently play someone else's kids. I just feel like that doesn't make a lot of sense in most cases, but there's always the exception. So we'll see. It is what it is.
This is like a side note. This actually really hurt me. There was a moment where I was just kind of like zoned off for a moment. I was like putting two together. I was just like, whoa. Because, seeing Cole Palmer thrive. I've been lying this entire time. I've been saying I don't care. I very much care. It hurts. It hurts a lot.
The same. Exactly the same.
See, what I would say is this. When Tarek brought up the Palmer for Doku, light for light, they're light for light in position in the squad, like as far as like who's in, who's out, but they play totally different positions, right? And so it's almost like the person that held up Cole Palmer is Kevin De Bruyne, because that's the role Cole plays at Chelsea.
But that's the role he plays at Chelsea, but that's not the role he played at City. He was on the right. He was being held up by Riyad. Yeah, he was being held up by Riyad Mahrez, but then he left. But there was no guarantees for Cole, which of course Pep's never going to give anyone a quote unquote guarantee. So it was like, okay, fine, we'll get rid of you. Now, I don't know if the Doku thing was already in the works before Cole left or not, but as soon as Cole went out, Doku was coming in. They were kind of like crossing in the middle of the night kind of a thing. So that's why I meant that it feels like they were kind of a 1-for-1, because they were taking the same spot in the squad, and then also thinking they're going to play on that right-hand side.
True, but I'm saying my point is this, right? We see Cole flourish in a different role than he didn't have the opportunity to play at City, because Kevin is there still performing amazingly, winning titles, trebles, all of that. So he's really a 10. He couldn't be the 10 at City because Kevin and Phil are there, and Gundo, whoever. So now it's like, oh, you go away, you find it. Now, you hate to lose anybody, but if you had to, you get $40 million profit. We flip it, we keep it rolling. We can always talk about it, right? It's never going to go away. But I think long term, we are set up to continue to be successful, right? Like this train does not stop.
And to be fair, I completely understand that Cole Palmer is probably not Cole Palmer that we see him today if he stays at City, because to your point, he's not playing through the middle where he is thriving. He's probably playing on that right side and trying to see what he can create. Now, maybe we switch him for Foden and whatever, but it's not just the player's name, but it's also the opportunities that they are given. So I recognize that it's not necessarily fair to say, well, Cole stays, he becomes the same Cole Palmer, because I don't know that that's true. So I just wanted to reiterate that I agree with you on that point.
That's fair. That's fair.
But again, that's why we have to play them, not just keep them, but play them.
And I set us up for this. I'm the one who riled them up.
You did. I was coming in trying to just be cool, and you gonna call me out. So
my fault. Let's move it to Holland though, because we see Sabio finally doing his thing, thriving. taking on defenders and supplying. He scored himself 2 goals, 2 matches in a row. Assisted Holland for a beautiful tap-in header, which he needed. He very much showed the appreciation. Saul, how are you feeling about Holland? Is the cyborg rebooted?
Yeah, I think first that goal, incredible. I love Savinho now. He's playing a lot better than he was. Haaland, I think he's rounding into form. I think the De Bruyne absence was much bigger than we thought, especially these last couple months. But now that he's back, now that Savinho seems to be getting into form, I think Haaland's starting to slowly gain into form. And I know other fan bases have thought he's had a pretty mediocre season, but he's only like 2 or 3 goals behind Salah, who's supposed to be leading Ballon d'Or candidate. And Haaland's not playing bad, so I think the second half of the season it's gonna really help him develop, expand, and kind of be able to play. He's been playing a lot better with his feet, which I've noticed. He's been playmaking a little bit more, been using teammates more. So I think that he can only get better in that, and I do think he's gonna end up getting those 45, 50 goals that we've come accustomed to seeing from him.
I wonder with Haaland, is it tactical instruction by Pep, or is it his decision? Because the way he played off the ball more, pushing up in midfield, being a part of the buildup, that's when we basically become unstoppable. Because he gets away from the center backs and now he can run at them versus just standing side by side and they're hugging each other. So it's like, I wonder who said do what, if it was him or if it was Pep, but whatever happened, if that keeps up, because now he's just this gargantuan figure coming at you. And what do you do? Because his runs are so good and he guts off, he moves so well, he's going to go past any center back. So I hope that that continues. And if we can figure out how to play Savio and Daku at the same time, I think we just unlock something that's beautiful. It gets back to that, that historical Sane, Aguero, Sterling front line. And where they both on their strong feet and they just ran. And you fed balls in and you just had this thing rolling. So I hope that's what Pep is going to get to in this next half a season, because it can get very scary, especially now you bring Oscar Bob too, right? So I'm in training. You get him into that mix on the right wing, and we know his connection with Haaland. They've been playing for years. I like where we're at.
Yeah, I really rate Bob. I don't know what you guys feel about him, but I really rate him. I think he can start over Doku eventually. So we'll see, but. I think it froze.
Did we lose
I was like,
Crunk?
Crunk, no, he's never normally this quiet.
That quiet for that long?
And I was like, I'm looking at his face. Okay, he's back. You back, Crunk, or you just sitting there? You just sitting there?
No,
Oh,
he
wow.
was frozen.
No, it's frozen. I was frozen. No, it's
Oh.
big frozen. So, what were we talking about?
Ramos, Jay Ramos in the chat asked the question: do you guys think we're going to sign a DM this January?
No, it's too important of a position, and everybody knows that. So we're already overpaying for Marmouche. There's only so many players we can.
You guys don't think we go for the
Ederson?
Douglas Luiz?
I saw that one and I like that.
The loan. They said they take 30 do a loan fee and then 35. For me, 35. He's worth more than 35. So
broke. They're big broke.
But
a proven Premier League player like that, I'm here for it, man.
But the only thing about that is, does it become like a Mateus Nunes kind of a signing where he's good in that setting and that whatever, he was okay, but I don't know that Nunes is City quality yet. May never be City quality. And
what is City quality? What does that mean? Because I feel like he's played very well at times. But I also know Jack Grealish is not City quality, but nobody says he's not City quality. So what are we talking about here?
Hey,
that man went a whole year without a goal.
You didn't.
He went a whole year without a goal.
Did you hear an objection?
Is way better. No,
there were no objections. Nobody protested. Nobody came. Nobody put their cape on for Jack.
Get that motto out of my club.
We agree with you.
Get that motto out of my club. Go play football somewhere else.
We might agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, no. I guess so. My concern. So I feel like when we did not get either of Bellingham or Rice. We still knew we needed a 6/8. And so we took a risk on Nunez to see if he could play that position. And it looks like Crunk is still frozen because it's like a weird pose, or he's refrozen. But so I feel like that was kind of like, hey, we just need a signing. So go get somebody, whether or not they're the right somebody, but we're just kind of desperate. We don't want to move out of desperation, but I feel like Douglas Luiz is proven and was better where he was than, say, Nunez was at Wolves.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Luis have an injury he was coming back from at Juventus? Like, isn't that part of it, or he just not?
I think he got hurt. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if he was ever like fully solidified in the lineup there, because again, you got to settle. It's a whole new team. It's a whole new country. So I don't know what that's going on there, but if by chance that's an option, I think I would go for it, especially because as much as I don't want to appear desperate, quite honestly, I am a little desperate.
Would you? Saul, is it worth losing McAtee for that spot in the roster to bring in Luis?
Man, it's tricky, man. Pepe's, that's why he's always like the small squad, right? Because everyone gets to play a little bit. But I do think it'd be tricky to get Douglas Luiz in. I know he left because of his girlfriend, I think, to Italy. So that would be even trickier to get him back, though. Playing time is hard to get. So I do understand if he wants to go somewhere where he would play more. That's why I think Ederson, the center mid from Atalanta, was an interesting one, because he's someone who's played in the big league, who's played a good amount of football, and actually knows how to do some of those similar quality things, and probably better than Nunez was at Wolves. So I think either one of those players could fit the bill, but it'd be tricky to get him in January.
Exactly. Ederson with Atalanta, they're trying to win the Scudetto, so there's no way they're going to be giving up their most important person. We'll get you
if
out.
They drop out. If they lose a couple games in a row, and by the end of January, they're kind of out of contention.
That would be. I mean, I'm here for it. I like that. I love the tinfoil hat. I love it. Keep it going. But Saul, we'll get you out of here with your predictions for the match this weekend against Salford City. It is its own Manchester derby of a sort. I was trying to sell it big on the recording on Sunday, and my show bro shut it down very quickly, and I say quite rudely. So, what are your thoughts, Saul, on?
We need a big win, right? I know we just had the 4-0, but and we can't keep goals out. So I'll take a 5-1. Give me a 5-1. Nice little win. Get the juices flowing. I think this will be the third straight win. So the run has to start sometime, right? Why not now?
Yeah, hold on. We'll get you. Appreciate you, homie. We'll address this after. We appreciate you. Have a good rest of your night.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Saul. Always great, man.
I saw this that he's up, and it's 80 million. If we're gonna pay Marmoush 80, I would much rather do him, and he's been tied to City for like much longer than Marmoush has.
Why would you prefer him over Marmoush?
Yeah,
tell me
why.
Well, one, he's 23, so that's 3 more years possibly. I think his style. I've seen more of him out for one, so that also helps. I just feel more comfortable with him. The reason I
asked the question. Oh, sorry. The reason I asked that question
also.
He's what?
I think in the end, he's a baller. So he could truly trouble on the left wing to potentially start. I think Marmoush is going to come in, and he's instantly going to be a backup, and he's going to start. We're going to need some rest, but I just think maybe a higher ceiling. I don't know.
So it's fair. It's wrong, but it's fair. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
I'm
so
just
good.
Like, whoa,
I'm just kidding.
It's wrong.
No. So I guess first of all, I don't believe there's any way that if we bring Marmoush in January, that he's not starting on that right hand side.
Okay.
He's not starting somewhere across the front line. He's starting somewhere. The reason I asked about the whatever his name, Kavara, yada yada, boom boom.
Cabra.
The reason I asked about him is because when we were first talking about him and first linked to him, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe.
Mhm.
Again, you guys know my focus is City, and if we're not playing a team, I probably don't watch them. But it felt like every comparison for him was, oh, he's Jack Grealish 2.0. He's a Jack Grealish regen. He's a Jack Grealish regen. It was always Jack Grealish regen. We've seen what Jack is doing. We've seen what Jack is not doing.
Okay.
If that's the case, if he is effectively a repeat of Jack, I don't want to go down that path.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I think
Now,
he's
I could be
more talented than
wrong,
Jack,
'cause-
but we can get our next guest in, but we can talk about it later.
Yeah, I do too.
She
But-
started it.
Again, I always start it. It's time to get a little red in here. Gunners, Arsenal Fashion Club. Shout out to Byron and Paulina, but we are here to welcome for the first time on the list stream. You may know her on the tweets. At least that's how I know him. So welcome in, Gabby. All right, you can put the
Thank
right
you,
there.
thank you.
Welcome.
Arsenal Fashion Club, man. this club, that's what we are.
Y'all get fits off. Y'all getting fits off every single year.
You get
Twice
some
a
bits
year.
off, I tell you, boy. Like it's actually so funny because like not being on the show before, but when you sent me the link to like if you have any ideas of what you want to talk about, and I said put anything that's not about Arsenal in here, even though I'm an Arsenal fan coming because I don't want to talk about this club. I hate this club. Do you really love your club if you don't hate your club?
That's fair.
That's good. That's good. I like that. That's a tagline. Put it on a shirt. I also love this is the second guest in a row with the Eagles hat. I feel the vibes are good for
Really?
Call Weekend. Let's talk about that first. Let's get to something I know you're passionate about. You care. Tom motherfucking Bomb. I'm so sorry. Tom Bomb is in the building.
What's going on, guys? Hi, Gabby.
Hello. Happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
So cordial. Now back to the Eagles. Are
I'll
y'all
try.
winning? Or y'all gonna take this L? What y'all doing?
Listen, I don't watch CTE ball. So who are we playing? That's the real question. Who are we playing?
See, the hat was a
reasons.
deep fake then. The hat is crazy.
I am from Philly, so technically I'm a fan by default.
That's what. Okay.
I'm a fan by default, but I don't watch CTE ball for real. Unless it's an Eagles game, I'm probably not watching it. And even when it's an Eagles game,
CTE ball is great.
I understand why men get so upset about NFL because you're sitting there watching your team for like 4 hours in one game.
So long.
Arsenal gets an hour and a half from me, and then you are done.
She said you get a solid 90 and we out.
90 minutes. I'm out of here.
I respect that. I think are they playing Ukraine? Are they playing the Packers?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun. I'm excited. 2 black quarterbacks, man. I hate that somebody's got to lose, but I love that somebody's gonna win. That's how I look at the NFL. As the black man's winning, we're all winning.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, wish y'all the best.
Hey, that I want them to get back to the Super Bowl because Philly was very, very, very crazy that night. I can't lie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last time y'all was in the Super Bowl, y'all lost us.
So here goes this winner. All right, man. I'm so over you, bro. I love you, Tom. like the tall, light-skinned brother I never had. But let me tell y'all. So Tom is a Chiefs fan. For those that don't know, Tom is a Chiefs fan, born and raised Kansas City, and this man knows nothing but victories. And the only reason he lost to my team, the Broncos, is because they said, let's just rest everybody. Let's allow them to make the playoffs. We're just gonna allow
how can
them.
you say this about a CTE? Listen, you are a City fan. All you know is winning too. What do you mean?
Here's the thing. This City fandom for me came, let's just say, post-adulthood. This is like something in my 20s, right? Like I'm 34 now. This came later. Broncos go back to when I was like 7 years old and Terrell Davis said salute. So like that is really my heart. Like it's really in me. And so for this man to come along and take away my joy for the last 8 years, it's not been fun. I didn't know him personally, but then when I knew him and I had to lose to him twice a year, my feelings were hurt. So thanks, Tom.
Listen, it is what it is. We all have to take our L some way.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I like that you put on. I mean,
But here's
and
the
that's
deal. Here's the deal. John Elway like killed so many of my hopes and dreams as a child that like this is just payback. So I'm just paying it back.
oh,
That's fair. All's good. Crunk, you got to run the conversation to something more appropriate. Go right ahead.
Well,
This the lit stream. Everything is appropriate,
everything is. Yeah,
or
no, that's-
nothing's appropriate. One of the two. I don't know what, but
I okay. I'm interested in this conversation. This is because I'm kind of. I feel like 2 out of these 4 topics in here will somehow end up being about City, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna go as hard pro Arsenal conversation. Vendors and Sesko are players that could help take Arsenal over the line. I really like both players. I would not like to see them on your squad, which means that's a good move for you guys.
Listen, I think that a lot of people do somewhat lazy analysis on Arsenal and say, what you need is a striker, what you need is a striker, what you need is a striker. And while I don't disagree that we obviously need to upgrade on our striker, what I have been, if you follow me on Twitter, what I have been saying for a long time is what we need is a left winger, which I didn't put on that list, by the way, because there's too many options that I am looking at. But if you want to go for, people always talk about quality over quantity. Listen, Reinders. I love that boy. I love that boy so much. It like he moves me. He moves me. And it actually makes me sad that he's like gonna be playing for Saul now. Because he don't feel like a Saul player at all. And I just feel like I love Xhaka. I have a Xhaka kit in my closet right now. And we haven't replaced him. We haven't replaced him. And he's been gone for 2 years now. And we need to get that left side working. We must. And I just think that Reinders is not only a great player, he adds goals, assists, he carries the ball well. He's not light in the tackle, which Mikel obviously wants. And he is a leader. Like he's one of those key pieces in the AC Milan team, and I would just love for Arsenal to go and get someone who's a key piece in another big team and say, we're going to scoop you out. It's happened to Arsenal too many times, so I would love to see that. And then Sesko is just a baller. If anybody follows me on Twitter, I've been talking about Sesko for basically 2 years. Like I wanted Sesko all the way up at the beginning of last season. I love him down. I just think he's right at the edge of that, like still under 21, or I think just hit 21. And he's like showing his potential. But if you put him in a team with a lot of other pieces where he doesn't have to carry, I think he'll really start to shine. And we need that. I think we need that because there's Arsenal already has a lot of pieces. You built your defense already. We have a great goalkeeper. You have 2 parts out of the 3 in the midfield already. You just need to go upgrade your left side and your attack.
Showbros, thoughts on this? Any hate towards them, preferably? Not me. I'm used to throwing the hate, so
I can take it. It's fine.
well,
I'm used to. I have a lot of
I mean,
City fan friends, so
they all
fair enough. You've had Ash on this pod, so
they
yeah,
all seem
you know.
they all seem, they all
sorry.
seem like like solid potential signings. Like it, I think, and to your point, Gabby, I think like for Arsenal to reach the heights where they want to go to, they need to sign a player who is a top level player at another club that is a top club in their league. Like we haven't seen them do that yet, and I think that that's going to be the next evolution or next step in their evolution to get where they want to go.
I agree. but at the same time, I'm someone, if you know me, I'm very adamant about not buying in the Prem. I hate buying in the Prem. Like, it's just, you always overpay because we're a part of the top 6. You always overpay for what's in the Prem, especially us. Because we seem to buy from the teams that are very adamant about their price, from the Brightons, from the West Hams. You're not going to get any cheap players in the Prem. I want us to go out and get the gems. Like, I want us to get back to our roots, like the Arsene Wenger era, where you like go out and get some baller I don't even know, or some player in a completely different league that I don't really watch, and but you saw that diamond in the rough. You know what I mean? Like, I would much rather do that. And plus, I don't rate Prem experience as highly as some other as some other people, and maybe that's like a fault of mine. But I just think I think if you're a baller, you will ball wherever you're at. Like, it doesn't matter where you go. Like, environment is important, but I just think Prem experience is overrated, in my opinion.
So that's exactly what I was going, Crump. I'm glad you saw it. If you had to make a choice here, you say you don't like Prem, but Isak is a baller. How do you feel about that potential signing of an Isak or a Jokeris to be your number 9?
Sir, there ain't no potential signing of Isak. There's no potential. He is staying at Newcastle. I made my prediction months ago. I said if he wanted to leave, he wouldn't have, I think he signed a new deal not too long ago. I think so. And then he was already in talks to sign something. And I just feel like if he really wanted to go, he would have pushed his way out already. Like, when they lost Champions League, that's when you should have pushed your way out. And if I don't know if we had the money for Newcastle is gonna fleece you, so 120 or more, whatever, for Isak. I don't feel good about spending that money on someone who's injury prone. Arsenal have terrible luck. I promise you, if we get an Isak, he will be injured that first season. Immediately, no. Go and get someone else. I actually really like Gyökeres. I know some people have reservations about him coming to the Prem. Not to be rude or shady, but I don't shit on the Portuguese league. I know some people do, but I think they translate well to the Premier League. They have a lot of physicality in that league. They just also have a lot of space in that league, just like the Bundesliga. It's like Serie A. So I would like to see him transfer to the Prem and see what's what, because I really like the fact that he's gone to different environments and made himself, if that makes sense. Didn't work for him at Brighton, went to Coventry, balled out, then jumped to Sporting, has been balling out. I would love to see him come to the Prem, because I just feel like a lot of people underestimate him, or they try to disregard him because he's in the Portuguese league, and I feel like he will surprise a lot of people if he comes to the Prem. Plus, he has Champions League experience, and that's more important than Prem experience to me.
I think if y'all get him, you throw in a healthy Saka, you put the pieces together, get rid of 5. I feel like
I would love to get rid of 5. Don't get me started on that.
5 gotta go.
Can we talk about that? Can we just jump to that? Like, what's the plan? What's the plan to get 5 up out the paint? Because I see you rail on against him. I see Mitch rail on against him. It's obvious, as Arsenal fans, not only do y'all not rate him, but y'all clearly don't respect him. So what's the plan to get him out the paint?
So that's the problem with Arsenal fans. There's 50-50 on people who actually rate him as a footballer. I do not rate him as a footballer. I think he's done. He's cooked. But he's doing this. He's been which makes me want to throw up to say, he's been our best midfielder this season. And I believe in karma personally, and I said this is the only season he's been fit the whole way through. And watch how many of our players dropped like flies this season. I said, and that's exactly what you get for keeping him for so long. You should have sold him 2 seasons ago. As soon as you saw that he couldn't stay fit for a season, for a whole entire season, Xhaka was in that midfield by himself, basically. And then Jorginho came in that midfield with Declan Rice. Like, you were not available. And not to mention, you had so many stinkers against the top 6 teams. Like, the big games, you dropped stinkers. Get him out of my club, bro. Not to mention the other stuff. Like, trade him down. This is on Mikel because he loves him. That's the only reason he's still here.
Is the contract up this year, or is he have like another year left?
Contract's up this year. Like,
okay, it's beautiful. Okay, so it's a clock. Okay.
I think they put out feelers earlier in the season to say, after he started playing well, they were like, well, there's talk to maybe like re-up on that contract. I said, I promise you, if you re-up on this contract, I will not be there. I will not be watching Arsenal next season. Like, get him out of my club.
Yeah. Yeah. And contract's out. So that it's unfortunate that's the way that they have to go through it. But to also say, and this is awful, but Man City went through their own situation where they let him go. He beat the case and then was able to sue and win against Manchester City for wrongful termination. So, like, that is unfortunately also, I mean, you don't have to start him and put him on the face of the starting lineup. There are things that Arsenal are doing that is antagonistic. So, but it's like, I do understand why they're not letting him go. But everything other than that Arsenal are doing, like, they need to relax.
I agree. I think they know that that's wrong, because when it first came out, like, we didn't see him for like almost a year. It was on no graphics, no socials, no nothing. You didn't even see him like on their YouTube, like during the training videos. He wasn't even in there, and I know he was there still training with them. So them making it so obvious that he's still our player is just, I need him gone. Free me from the clutches of this man.
Well, I always love asking this question to as many Arsenal fans as I can. If for some reason Arsenal failed to win it again, in another moment being the bridesmaid or the number 2 silver, not the gold, let's use that. How much longer does Arteta get? Because I've been telling people that, we dealt with the one manager that we had forever without bringing us a title, so we can do it all over again. But that's not how modern football works.
You're so nice. You put the if in front of that, as if we will go in the league this year. We won't. You know we won't. Like, unless
this
Liverpool
honesty is refreshing. I
it.
love it. I respect it.
Unless Liverpool absolutely fuck it, we are not winning the league this year. I knew in preseason we weren't in the league this year, but that's a different story.
Is that Arteta robbed all of your players? Is that when you knew you weren't going to win the league?
That's
when I knew you weren't going to win the league.
I wasn't going to win I knew we weren't going to win the league when I went to go watch them at Lincoln Financial Stadium, which is the Eagle Stadium, because Arsenal came to Philly, and I watched them play against Liverpool, and I said, we look burdened. We look burdened. Like, we don't look like this is preseason. You should be happy. Like, we're like trying new things. We look stressed. Like, we have to win this game. That's when I knew we weren't going to win anything. Like, they look stressed out. And they're playing stressed out. You can tell. But the question about Arteta, 2 different things. Like, how much do I want him to have, like, more time, or how much more time will the club give him? Or they're very different things. I think Arsenal are not used to firing coaches, which is why nobody will ever gaslight me about Unai Emery. That guy was ass at Arsenal. This is like one of the only managers that we fired quickly.
She said, "I don't believe in that magic, those magic tricks down in the Midlands. I don't believe it. No. It's not. It's fake." She said that shit is fake.
Listen, he is good when he's an underdog. When he has to actually perform at the highest level,
that's fair.
No. Okay. But I think the club will give him a he just re-up on his contract last season or the beginning of this season, I think. So he's going to have it at least bare minimum, like 3 to 4 years. They are not going to fire him. They're not going to fire him, which is why I'm begging them to get a sporting director. I'm begging them. He needs somebody to keep him in check. I think Mikel is a great coach. He could be an elite coach, but he doubles down on bad things. He doubles down on bad things. He needs someone to keep him in check badly. I'm someone personally who likes Kai Havertz. I didn't want him when we were first linked to him because I hate Chelsea badly. I hate them down. I hate them down. I mean, I know like as fans we can all say like how much we love our clubs, but I think I hate Chelsea more than I actually love Arsenal. Like that's how much I hate them. I hate them down.
Wow.
I could talk about hating Chelsea all day. All day. But I just like, while I appreciate what he has done, like in the run-in, he was our best player, if not one of our best players. And he's probably our top scorer in all of 2024 as a calendar year. I think he's our top scorer this season still too. But we didn't need him. We didn't need him. The only reason that he kind of worked out for us was because Jesus was so shit. Who I don't like Jesus either.
You're welcome, by the way.
Thanks. Appreciate it. No
Thanks
more.
for that
That's why
40.
no
We
more buying
appreciate
the
that
Prem.
40
No more buying in the Prem. No more buying from City. No more buying from Chelsea. Enough. Jesus was so shit, so he had to put him up top, and he just happened to work out. But you brought him to play midfield, and that was not. He's not like for like with Xhaka at all. And that left center mid spot for Arsenal is so complicated and convoluted. You need somebody who can do all of the things, which is like Reinders. Do all of the things, and that's not Kai.
Yeah.
So yeah, the club are going to give him a long time, but I would like to see him out in 2 years.
So what's the fan reaction to what they believe that the club is going to do versus like what supporters are actually feeling? Is like, are you in like a vocal minority? Is like, I'm done with you after 2 years if we don't have a trophy or Champions League final appearance? Or
definitely vocal minority. I think a lot of people really appreciate what happened with Arteta, like how he has taken the club back to the top, the top tier. We're not like the banter club anymore. The banter of the big six, that's United still, and always Spurs, always. But I just feel like they almost have PTSD from what happened with Wenger, how he was kind of like brought to the end of his tenure and like kicked out almost, and it was almost his fault. The club shouldn't have let him stay so long. And I am a child of Wenger. I will never say anything bad about him, but like those last few years, those were bad. And I think that nobody wants to be the like overly negative person after what Mikel has done. But I just think that if you don't let Mikel just be a coach, if you let him be a manager, and especially let a manager like Arsene Wenger, where he has so much power over decisions that he should not have power over, in my opinion, it's going to get so bad. It's going to get so bad. I need somebody. They must have somebody keep him in check. And I feel like a lot of the fans are a little bit too skirmish on the fact that they don't want to like say bad things about him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's silly. And I, as a not Arsenal fan, I love to hear it, and I'm rooting for the chaos.
What did you go get in the Prem is chaos for sure.
Facts.
Can I ask one quick question, Kron?
Yeah, of course.
So, Gabby, I gotta ask this selfishly because this is my first ever City kit purchase. How have you felt about the Raheem Sterling experience? Because I feel like injury happened, right? But like, do you feel like he's what you all needed? Was it a stretch? Is he someone that you like rate, or is it just like this didn't work and he can go away?
It didn't work and he can go away. But I actually really rate Raheem Sterling. But I'm also like biased because I'm Jamaican, so like I can't really like drag him that much. Also, we know what he is. Like we know what he was. Like he was a top tier winger at one point, like the best of the best, in my opinion, he was. But as per usual, Chelsea ruined players. So he just like that all of that stuff that's just gone now. And he wasn't what we needed. Like his profile is what we needed. We needed a winger. I was begging them to go get a winger. It was so obvious we needed another attacker, and you definitely needed to upgrade on Martinelli, in my opinion. But then they waited and they waited and they waited, and they were like, oh, last minute, let's go get this. And it's so obvious that Mikel did not want Raheem. I think is Edu said we needed to go get somebody who's an attacker. There's no way we can close the window without getting somebody. Mikel was happy with what he had, which is why he needs to be in check. And Edu was like, well, I'm going to go get an attacker and you're going to use him. Like you have to, because just in case if Saka goes down, or which he did, or Martinelli's still not firing, Trossard is inconsistent. You went out and got him and you don't use him. Saka's down now and you still don't want to use him. So it's kind of like, if you're not going to use him at all, you might as well get him out of here. Get him out of here. I mean, at this point, like, Ethan's gone now too. Like, Ethan just got injured the other day, so now we have no right wingers. Like, it's just kind of crazy.
Okay.
Quick.
Well,
I'm gonna ask a quick question, Gabby. So Renee was actually named Barclays WSL Manager of the month of December as the interim manager. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of talk or movement towards signing a new manager. Are you okay with letting her play out the rest of the season?
So,
and then looking in the summer?
the club is doing, well, at least they're putting out feelers to the media right now that they're saying they're doing a search for a new coach while she's the interim. And I'd be okay with her playing the rest of the season. I mean, like coaching the rest of the season and see what happens after that. I think a lot of the fan base now kind of want her to stay because we look so much better because Jonas was so shit. Hate that guy.
Good luck, San Diego. Good luck. Have fun.
Good luck. And I'm half and half on it because I don't watch the women's game as much as I should. But while I think she's doing a great job right now, I don't think she's the top tier coach that I think we could go out and get. Now, granted, who that coach would be, I don't know. But I feel like it's your obligation to go and find out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I get you. And like, there are some names that, like, I know that Casey Stoney's name was bandied about a lot amongst the Arsenal fan base, and Angel City is trying to jump on that. I know Laura Harvey's name has been mentioned at Seattle, and I know that.
Don't go out there and get Laura Harvey. You might as well keep Renee. Crazy.
So, and like, but I've also like heard them like, because I know that on the 12, which you should be listening to, the 12, we cover the Women's Super League. That is the top football league for women in the UK. We talked about them going off after Ajax's previous manager, who stepped down after last season. And we saw what Ajax did in the Champions League last season, especially with the talented star like Lily Johannes. But I think that there are some names. I think you are correct. Like, there are some names that, like, as the level of club that Arsenal is, they owe it to themselves to like actually like find out. Not to say that Renee's been doing a bad job.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we haven't won the league since 2017, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And there was somebody that we were linked to not too long ago. I don't know. I think that it's like quieted down now, but like he was like an old Barcelona coach, and I was like, go get him. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see some good football, and I also think we do have some ballers in our team, but we need to get some more.
Immediately, because every time y'all go that they play in those black, red, and green kits, it looks like that picture of Adele when they took her phone from her and said, "You can't post on Instagram no more."
Listen, I tell you, the evil that Jonas has done to this club. I would love for him to like fall out with like a Jaden Shaw or like a Naomi Girma.
Free them immediately, please.
Well, listen, I would love for Arsenal to make a move like that. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, that would be good to see. The team definitely needs some melanin, but those are players that I don't want to root against, so I just don't want that to happen. It's just a little selfish.
I mean, really, if they really just need to call back Michelle Ajimang, because she has been balling down at the South Coast in Brighton. She shows a lot of promise, and I get that there are a lot of talented wingers that are already at the club, and she's younger and her ceiling is higher.
Listen, I hear. I mean, I was as somebody who doesn't watch the women's game all the time, I was like, I wonder how good. What's the feeling on Millard? Can't we just steal someone from United or steal someone from go take their best player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about their women's team. I'm
At
sure
all.
you can yoink her away.
At all. like they said that at the top.
Exactly. Let's be serious here. I'm sure you could go pry someone away from a top club. It was in my opinion, it was a mistake to let Viv leave. Jonas. But hey, I think that Carfaggi needs to play a little bit more. And then I was actually feeling like we shouldn't have let Raphael go. I think she went to Orlando City.
Yep.
And I was like, her and Leo were so good together. This, I don't know. We need to do a lot of things. But like I said, you need a sporting director to do a lot of things. Ain't no sporting director at Arsenal right now. I don't know what they doing.
But part of Rafaela's part of her move was that Marta said, "Come over here," and I think we all recognize the legend that Marta is, and when she says something, them Brazilian players listen. And so to me, having heard her say in person that NWSL is the best league in the world, that means something to younger Brazilians. So I think that you're going to see fewer Brazilians make the leap across the pond and just go to North America and come to NWSL.
I hear that, but I counter you with, I can't wait to, I shouldn't say I can't wait because I don't know if it'll actually happen, but I would love to see a lot of Americans go across the pond. A lot more Americans. I would love to see Trinda just be like, you know what? Let me take my hand at Arsenal. Or one of those players. I would love to see that, just test my.
It's going to be, well, first of all, the player that's going to do that is probably going to be Sophia, that's going to do of Triple Espresso to do that first is probably going to be a Sophia Smith. Because
like to see that too.
They got to get her off that terrible turf that they got in Portland. My God. Oh God. It's so bad. It's so bad.
It is bad. I just know that Emma's in their ear, if you want to move, I can make some moves for you at Chelsea. No, they don't need anyone else. Fuck that club. They won the league 6 years in a row. I'm over it.
That's great. All right. Well, please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky, Nocturnal Gunner. You can also find me on the Shirtless Plantain Show. I'm on there every week. I know you guys have had, I think Tozana has been on here.
We've had we've had a bunch of people from even
we have Tozan, Dean. Coach had us on the Man United episode once.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which, yeah. Mitch and
so yeah, that's where you can find me. I'm always there. Although I need to take a break from that. I don't want to talk about Arsenal no more. I need a break. The way that the other leagues had a winter break, I need a winter break from this club.
No break in the Prem. No break on us. No.
It's awful. Well, we appreciate you. You have a good rest of your evening.
Alrighty. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. This is nice. Okay, time to bring the final guest on. It's time. We back to blue, just a different shade. It's a little darker. Still staying in London though. So give it up for our next guest, Megan.
Hello, guys.
Oh,
What's
going
happening?
on? More shade of blue.
Whoa.
I mean,
Watch it.
about facts. They just exist, and you have to like adjust your life to it. That's all.
Royal blue is the superior, but it's okay. Sky blue is
If
sky
you're
blue is
English,
fine.
I don't hear no accent.
It makes my skin crawl because I'm a UNC fan since '96.
Oh
So
yeah,
like
that would be
seeing royal blue literally makes me. It gives me the ick, as the kids that I teach say. I have the ick. City came along later, and then Chelsea came along later. But like that color, I don't own it. And then I was gifted a pair of shoes. I haven't worn them yet because they have royal blue.
Hey,
So I
listen,
just
we
want to
can
know,
just
like,
all agree that red, every shade of red is bad.
yes,
So
yes,
go.
there we go. Okay,
we're
there we
good.
go.
We're good.
We're in this together. There we go.
Look at
Common
that.
ground. We gotta stick to
Yeah.
common ground.
Good. You're good. You're look at that. Pro. Okay. Well, I mean, we would just finish talking about Arsenal women, so I would like, Sonia Bonpastor and that
I have some very bad takes about Sonia that are aging quite poorly, and I just need to get out in front of that. I did not want Sonia Bonpastor. I was like a staunch advocate against that hire because she just felt so stagnant at Lyon. Like they were just awful to watch. And I don't know if it was like a combination of her style and like the players that they had, but man, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I mean, I don't understand like drawing to Leicester at the King Power when Chelsea owns that. Chelsea women are the secondary owner of that stadium, but whatever.
in City.
Listen, we lost to Everton, so we lost to Everton the same week. So what? But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but you guys have a lot going on. Like your injuries are quite crazy. I actually thought City were gonna win the league this year, to be totally honest.
Same.
And it's just like the wheels have fallen off, like through no fault of anybody, really. It's just quite unfortunate. But yeah, City is who I picked to win the league.
I did too, and yes, like injuries have devastated the squad. Like hell, I mean, like we have a player that like took Charlie's point is like we don't even know what number she wears for the club because she blew out her knee in the Olympics.
I saw her pop up in training time, and I said, "Oh, she's alive! Like she's one of us. She's here." Like
exactly.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah. Training kit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I could not believe. I'm like, holy crap! Every day, it's a new injury for you guys. It is just
same club, same
crazy.
passion. That's what we do, baby.
Yeah,
same club, same passion. Everybody hurt.
Everybody hurt. Like
Well,
honestly, the only reason why City Women is still staying afloat is because Yui Hasegawa has not been hurt yet. And if
I can't believe you just said that out loud.
I know. And if and when that were to happen, like cancel Christmas, like it's over. Like it's a wrap. Like we just got to make sure that we don't get relegated at that point. Like 'cause it's bad.
Yui is one of my favorite players to watch. I do have to say that she is fantastic. Such a like skilled player. Although I was so impressed. I think like the game that we played, you guys. I think it was Micah Hamano who just like sat on Yui the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And like she's 20. That was insane. That was the craziest performance. Like it was wild. Because I thought for sure like Yui would run the show, but I don't know.
I always like seeing the matchups of the Japanese midfielders, like who like especially in the WSLs, like who like has the upper hand on everybody. Like it seems like Yui has the upper hand on Nagano at Liverpool, like, and we've already seen that. But like Nagano, like I haven't like you guys haven't played Liverpool yet, right?
We did once, I believe. I think.
Yeah, but Nagano had a good match that match, but Micah Hamano didn't play. And like Micah Hamano does a really good job against you. Has like so there's just all of like and I think it's just because like all of the Japanese midfielders that are in the league are just so well rounded. Like they literally could play all three positions. Like I think that Yui could easily play a 10. Like she was at West Ham playing an 8. Micah plays the 10 for Chelsea, but like I could see like if Sonia needed her to, I think she could play her as a 6. Not that she would like want to bench Aaron Cuthbert for that, but she could do it. It's just like seeing how well-rounded all of them are. Like it's really interesting, like the match within the match sort of thing.
Yeah, they are just like as a collective unit, their midfield is like internationally one of my favorites to watch because they're just so like well organized. They do everything well. It's just they're so technical. It's crazy. Easily like one of the nicest, most aesthetically pleasing watches you can get.
Yes.
And can y'all not win this season, please?
I can't believe there's a 6-point lead. I thought, like I said, I was dead certain that City were winning the league this year.
I was too. I think the players were also, because they were actually talking about winning trophies. They were saying it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, if they're talking about trophies, then it's happening. But yeah, then when you're basically your spine of your team goes down injured, it makes it a little tough. Sharpie?
Yeah, how long is Greenwood out?
Forever. Sorry. I don't know. No, just stop. Megan, let's talk about your club. Because that makes me sad. I love her so much. Did I miss that picture? Did I read that picture correctly or see it correctly where Sam Kerr is back in training?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Which is hilarious because that's where she tore her ACL.
Everybody's healthy now, right? Isn't everybody healthy? Like, isn't that the report? Or is Buchanan still out for the year?
Yeah, Buchanan's
done.
She's
out. Yeah, she's out.
Okay, but your attackers are coming back. Stop. Stop. Okay.
This is the greed that they talk about in the Bible.
Literally, stop it. Oh my God.
Come on, it'll be fun.
That's how you get the world flooded. Exactly that.
Yeah, I think so. It'd be quite crazy.
Oh man. Okay, let's flip it over to the men's side.
Please.
With I was enjoying seeing them ball out. You knew with the new manager, the style, the average age of the squad that inconsistencies were going to come. And even with Cole, there's only so much he can do, and I think he's learning that how heavy this season. But before we even get there, Reece James, Romeo Lavia, West Fofana, like we were talking about injuries, and I felt like that was an interesting place to go. And yeah, what's going on with Chelsea? Did the physio hate the men's team or something?
No, I think this is, well, for Reece specifically, it's the impact of Thomas Tuchel, I think. Not necessarily him, but he just played so much, so young. Like, if you look at Mason Mount, too, like, not to talk about United, but, like, he can't stay healthy either. It's just crazy. It's like Thomas Tuchel sold their souls to win the Champions League that year. And, like, very cool, but at this point, I'm like actually concerned for Reece James and Mason Mount's like well-being. Period.
So what you're saying is that Thomas Tuchel is to world football as Tom Thibodeau is to NBA basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just feel so bad for Reece. Like he is such a like transformational player when he plays. Like everything he does is just so skilled, so beautiful. Like I need a Reece James Thunder Thighs goal. Like I need air, and I'm never getting one again. Bad times.
It is. And Romeo Lavia, we came from City, so we want the best out of him. And yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. And I forgot all about West Fofana. That's crazy.
He has had one of maybe the most unlucky careers. Well, like there are injuries that you can, maybe blame on, usage or whatever. But like he broke his leg, which was a crazy leg break. And then he tore his ACL like right when he was coming back. Like how do you even plan for that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You can't. you really can't.
You do. And he's like 24 and like barely has played. And it's just such a shame because he's so good. He is so good when he plays.
And then something else I kind of wanted to talk about is like, what is this? Have you seen this? It's I don't even want to push the mail like this. But yeah,
why can't he be a man of the people? Why can't he like just give respect to service workers, blue collar workers everywhere?
I mean, he did it.
Exactly. So I don't see why we're being mocked for that. See, people are elitists. That's the problem. It's classist. I don't like it.
How about you let her answer, Sharpie?
I'm gonna echo everything Sharpie just said.
What he said. That sounded great.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Stealing your thunder on that one.
Well, I guess moving on. Wow.
I'm sorry, Crump. I'm black before I'm blue. I'm sorry. My bad.
Ooh, I missed this so much.
I see you put in a little bit of Serie A, so I enjoyed that. And that league is very actually kind of all the leagues this year are being rightfully chaotic. Serie A, I think it is between first and third, they're all 4 points from each other. But then if you go down 1 through 6, they're 12 points away from each other. It's very similar to kind of what's going on with the Premier League. Napoli, Atalanta, and Inter, they're all battling out. Inter still has 2 games in hand. Atalanta has 1 game in hand. They could easily catch Napoli. It's just who's going to hold on the longest. And I mean, as someone who you like Chelsea, but you're watching the Serie A, what about the league intrigues you specifically, or is it anything specific of the league that intrigues you?
I just think it's fun. Like I like I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise being like a Chelsea fan, but I like a defensive style, and I like the moving chess pieces and things like that. So Serie A is a little bit more like that sometimes. Like it's open too, but like I like watching Inter. So like Inter to me is a nice, chess piece sort of board game club. So
the Supercoppa was not great for you.
No, I was like, what the hell is this? What is like?
I'm
not even
a basketball game.
I'm not even gonna lie. I turned that shit off after 2-1. Like it was 2-1. I just like, oh, Inter's got this. Like Milan's
they choked.
Megan, can I ask, who was the first Chelsea manager when you became a Chelsea supporter?
Conte.
And I feel like your first manager, it hardened you, it shapes you, it molds you. As they say, I wasn't born in darkness, or I wasn't molded by the darkness. I was born in it. You were born into the darkness. Like that is who you are.
That's right. Man, I'm from Pittsburgh. Like we have AFC North football, so it's ingrained in me. Like I can't.
Oh well,
it all makes sense. It's all
coming full circle right now.
Yeah.
The Mike Thomas and Bill Cowher of it all. I get it.
Yeah. So you just have to like torture yourself. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, man, I was I would very much like Nicola Barella. Like I was like, who exactly would I love to snatch away from Inter? And that is the player. And every now and then he gets tied to City, but it's like there's no way he's leaving Italy. But
yeah,
that would be a dream.
He's so fun to watch though. He can ping like just gorgeous cross pitch passes. It's so nice.
Why can't the world just get the gift of a Rodri Barella double pivot? I think we deserve it. I think that's what the world wants to see.
Now he's talking about greed.
Exactly. Okay. I'm a biblical problem. Okay. Like I want it all for us. Crump appointed us the dark, what do you call us, Crump? The
Empire.
Yes, we are the evil empire.
Yes.
And that's what I want. I want that to happen, because could you imagine just that beautiful Spanish Italian double pivot moving so effortlessly throughout the world? We won't get it. But a man can dream. That's all I have in his life.
Listen, I support it. I lived through the Roman era, like for all of his faults. He made some fun ass teams, man.
He did. He spent that money. Yeah, he won everything for a win. And naturally, we're just waiting for this stupid court case to finish up, and
so are we. I think. Honestly, I think we have from some like Chelsea insiders that are like relatively close to the club. There is probably a transfer ban coming from some Roman dealings. When the club was sold, they self-reported, which probably helped them out. But yeah, probably the same sort of thing. Maybe just I don't know what the scale or anything is, and it probably helped that they, like I said, self-reported, like it was caught by the new owners. But
okay, doesn't this shit sound like all this shit sound like very NCAA type to you? Like this,
yeah,
we self-reported on our like just, and like I think we as Americans understand how much of a joke the NCAA is. So like UEFA is not like, and the FA are not exactly covering themselves in glory with this. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's like, what do you do? Like in this situation, it's like they bought the club, and then you come over all the financials, and you're like, oh shit, we found some bad stuff here. Like I guess, and they could have not, but that feels like that would have just ended in disaster too. So,
I mean, yeah, 'cause you would have had to keep pushing it down the road, and I mean, surprise, surprise, Roman was messing with the papers. Like,
yeah, I mean, shocking. A dumpster of a man.
The Russian
dumpster things.
Wasn't the guy that like was going to be truthful and honest and like fair. Oh my God, who knew?
One of Putin's like right-hand guys. Like, come on, how could you expect him to? I mean,
my only
y'all ready for Elon Musk
with joining?
I hate them, and I don't even wish that on them. That's just hard. That's
just
rude.
When I saw that, that was some of the I cackled for a good 2 minutes and put it in the Slack because I was like, I have to put this in the meme. We have a memes channel. I was like, I have to put this in the memes channel because I can't even like this is a joke, right? Like,
I cannot.
Sorry, Sarah, I cut you off with Elon. My bad, bro.
No. I was just going. No, you're because that was devastating. I mean, just the idea. Again, not a Liverpool fan at all, but I just don't want that dude involved in. I don't even want him involved in the sport anywhere. But no. I was just gonna say because you were giving a little bit of grief to Roman, and the unfortunate part is I know you're joking, you're saying whatever in jest, whatever. It's kind of sarcastic, whatever. But there's gonna be some people if for whatever reason City were to get caught up. That's where people gonna go there. It's like, oh, we knew the Arabs, the oil money, the this, the that, whatever. And it's just like that's a little unfortunate, but
yeah. I don't subscribe to any of those things. Like all billionaires are like they don't get to where they're at for being good people. Sorry, it's true. They just don't. But I mean, if you're gonna start stooping to like racial and religious like persecution of them, then that's not a fair argument, and that's not an argument made in good faith either.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Facebook was a site created to rate women on the Harvard University campus. Just let's think about that.
Why couldn't everybody just be like Tom from MySpace and take that big ass check and go fuck off into the woods forever?
He is such a great American. He is one of the best Americans that ever created. I'm gonna invent this thing, let it run its course, and go away.
He's like,
I don't know his last name. Right? He's Tom from MySpace for the rest of my life, and that's great. What an American hero! But Megan, I gotta ask this: where is Chelsea finishing? Are you all gonna get Champions League or no?
I hope so. So, I never believed that Chelsea were legitimately in a title race. Like, I just didn't. I was shocked that we started the season this well. I was shocked that Maresca's principles took hold so well, and I was shocked at how well the players themselves were performing. But I think there was always going to be regression. They're young. They're stupid because they're so young. Like it's just how it works. Like it's fine, but I think it seems like the top 5 will be Champions League spots, and I find it difficult to believe that Newcastle won't slip up, that Aston Villa won't slip up, United are dead. Tottenham are dead.
Forest.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me. Callum Hudson-Odoi, please come home. The kids miss you. Please come home. That sale looked horrible then, and it's looking worse and worse every passing minute. Like, he was sold for like $3.5 million or pounds, I guess, but horrendous business then, and it looks worse now. But you can come home, please. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Man.
So anyway, between fourth or fifth, probably, maybe even third. I don't know, but I believe that they'll finish in the Champions League spots.
That's solid. Well, that's y'all got more cam. Okay, y'all got light work in the FA Cup as well. Yeah, and it's home. Yeah. You should.
Where do you guys think you're going to finish? I know it's been a little bit sketchy period, but third. Yeah, I could see that happening. Third or fourth.
Champions League or die. We will not miss Champions League. I don't care if it's fifth. Yep. We're going to make it. That's all I got. We're going to make Champions League, keep the streak going. We are not these other clubs that take a year off. Okay?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, whoa. We're having fun in the Conference League. Listen, we're making friends in the Conference League.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Get that trophy like West Ham. Be West Ham Junior. Y'all got it.
Exactly.
Hey, Servette is like our biggest fan on TikTok, so we're good friends with them.
Honestly,
they have some pretty sick merch. I will say that they have like cassette tape shirts, and they're pretty cool.
Ooh,
I was thinking about buying one because they're such a fan of ours. I figure I have to repay them a little.
Yeah, exactly. I think what's going to help us is us like actually crashing out of this year's Champions League. Like, we need to like get in a position where we were just not there. Like, so when I see like further like Champions League lineups and they're like, James McAtee starts and Jemai Simpson-Pusey starts and Nico O'Reilly starts, I'm not going to be mad. I know that there will be other City fans that will be very, very upset. And I was like, no, this is great. Like, let those kids play. Like, let the grown-ups like not have to travel. I don't like they get to put something on their resume that they started a Champions League match, and like let that fall out where they may. And like if we lose, that's not the worst thing in the world because we are so injured, we're not in a position to be winning and playing a match every 3 days.
I was going to say you guys are spread far too thin at the moment.
Exactly.
I don't ever see Pep admitting defeat in that way. I could be wrong, but I just feel like Pep is like, as long as we're in it, we're going to run out our quote unquote best lineup. And that may mean we run more people into the ground as a part of it, but I just don't see him saying, you know what, we're going to write off the rest of these games and just acknowledge that we're going to go out and kind of strategically go out so that we can salvage the rest of our Premier League season. I just don't know that he'll make that kind of a sacrifice. I don't know if he's built that way.
That sort of reminds me, like, not saying that it will end up this way, and please, that's not what I'm insinuating, but it's kind of like the 22-23 season that we had, where it was like we just kept getting injuries and they just kept compounding, like bad form to like Reece James and N'Golo Kanté, like were out basically the whole year, and then they'd come back in for like these big Champions League matches, get injured again, and it's just like it's just like once you get into that cycle, it is so hard to break. And you just get stuck in that like awful purgatory. Now, I'm not saying like City are obviously already even in a much better position than Chelsea were that year, but it's just like a little bit similar.
Yeah. Pep likened it back to the Liverpool season as well a few years ago for him. So, yeah, I mean, you're not far off by that. All right. Well, I have to literally get done with this and now start talking about wrestling with the homie Grego. So please plug yourself, let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
I just yap on Blue Sky right now. Tennis is my tennis season is back, so we are ready for that. But yeah, I'm just a
The
yapper.
Aussie Open.
Yeah, that's right. Get
Aussie,
ready to
Aussie,
be
Aussie.
nocturnal. Get ready to be nocturnal.
Oh, wow. Okay, you even do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm on
let's
Blue
go.
Sky at 2 in the Shank. So
Good. Yes. Do you have a good rest of your evening? Thank you
yes.
for coming on. We'll be in
Thanks
touch.
for having me, guys. Always great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
being on.
much. Take
Yeah.
care.
All right. Shout out to our guests today, Saul, Gabby, Megan. Good times are had. Good times are had. I'm not stolen from my. Well, I don't even know where my schedule is. Where my planner is. Okay, well, here it is. Go
Can
for
I say
it.
something real quick, Ron?
Please.
Huge shout out to everyone in LA that has been
Yes.
affected by the terrible fires. Even if you haven't had to evacuate, those people are dealing with trauma because you're literally sitting on a knife's edge every single moment waiting for an evacuation notice. There was a big thing. Like I have friends out there that were like, "Oh, this thing went out to everyone in LA County. Only should have been to a certain piece." Like it's just a lot of stress, a lot of worry. Thousands of people have lost everything.
Yes.
I have a huge connection to the Pasadena, Altadena area. Altadena is one of the last like black suburban areas up in LA County that almost got totally wiped out based with the fires. So black and brown people everywhere are gonna have to try to pick it up from the bottom, and it's so sad, and it's nobody's fault. But prayers, thoughts, money, everything you can offer to those people because this basically became a hurricane that had no rain. It just was
Correct.
fire. And it's crazy to see hundreds of thousands of acres gone. Santa Monica is a beautiful, beautiful place. And if you haven't visited it, you won't see the same Santa Monica I did 2 years ago when I was living there. So my heart goes out to everyone in LA County. Y'all are incredible people. I'm praying for y'all. And I know that you all will bounce back.
Well stated. Thank you, Charlie.
Well said.
And next week we have Daniel. We're having him on for the first time.
Yes.
And then Eugene Rapinski. It's been a while. And
Yes.
great time because Liga MXC is starting to pick up. And then shout out to FTC United. We're bringing on Devin, aka Devin the Dude. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun show next week.
Yes.
Well, my show bros, I appreciate y'all. We will be back soon. And Saturday. Yes. Yeah. Salford City. Gonna laugh on FanFest. Do a watch along. By the way, right now, if you register, you can earn points by watching streams, commenting. There's raffles, all kinds of sorts of things. They're giving away gift cards if you actually get 3 people to join FenFest off of your own invite code. They'll give you $20 to the team store of the team that you support. So, the more 3 people you bring in, that just stacks that number and gets higher and higher. It's a new thing. They're trying to get more people in and build up that number. We are going to, so I have some fun things other than watch alongs over there. So yeah, just pay attention, check it out, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye.
You ain't talk about the fact that you won a contest over there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm pushing it. I want scarves and stuff like that.
No, I was saying I didn't know if everybody knew that you won this contest.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to be like I won, so you should do it too. I feel like that's I mean, yes, I am a good example as
Talk that talk, Crump.
Why you should join it, and especially because there's not so many people on it at this moment, so the chances are very high. And I'm on the leaderboard because again, people are joining off of my code. You get 1,000 points just for someone registering. So people, if you know people, just have them hop on there and check it out. We'll be on there doing some things. Have a good time. We'll see you all soon. Bye.